Hello everyone. The topic we cover today is mania. So welcome to the mania. We can say the mania, it is a mood disorder. So before going to mania, we'll see some of the terms related to the mood disorder. So there are two terms which is related to the mood disorder. These two are very important. One is mood and another one is affect. So welcome to the mood. Mood is nothing but it is a subjective experience of our emotion that other people cannot see. It is the feeling in our mind only. Then another term, that is the affect. So affect is nothing but it is an other people can observe. We can say it is an objective feeling. Means if I am happy, my activities will be pleasurable, or there will be a smiling face in my face. Okay, all these things other people can observe. That we can say affect. But both the term mood and affect will use as an interchangeably, and if there is any disturbances with this mood or emotion, then we can say it is a mood disorder. And usually mainly there are two important mood disorders are there, a manic episode and a depressive episode, or we will say in a simpler way it is a mania and it is a depression. And today we will see detailing about what is mania. We can say mania, it is a mood disorder which is characterized by elevated mood or increased mood, increased psychomotor activity and increased self-important ideas or increased self-esteem. So these symptoms, these three symptoms are there. So that we termed as a triad symptoms of mania. And now we will see the epidemiology. So while coming to the epidemiology, the lifetime risk of mania is 0.8 to 1%, and usually this mania which occurs as an episode, and one episode which lasts for 3 to 4 months. After that there will be a complete recovery of symptoms, and the next episode may be mania or it may be depression. Now we will see the etiological factors of mania. So come to the first one, it is the genetic cause. So while coming to the genetic cause, the genetic predisposition to the mood disorder, it is very common, and in the first degree relatives there is a 5 to 10% chance for getting mania, and in a monozygotic twins, identical twins, there is 40 to 50% chance to get mania. Next one, biochemical causes. While coming to the biochemical causes, in manic patient we can observe that there is an increased neurotransmitter level, especially the serotonin, norepinephrine and dopamine. Mainly the serotonin will be having a role in manic episode or manic patient. Next one, the family dynamics, that means the faulty family life or family issues that contribute to the manic episode. And apart from this one, there are certain brain diseases that can cause to the mania, like any cerebrovascular accident or any cerebrovascular problems, chronic alcoholism, then we can say like head injury, then any right-sided lesion. All these things can lead to the mania. Okay. So these are the etiological factors of mania. Now we will see the clinical features of mania. While coming to the clinical features, the important clinical feature is elevated or increased mood. That is a common feature of mania. So here the patient will be going through different stages: euphoria, elation, exaltation and ecstasy. So these are the stages the patient will be going through mood elevation in mania. So come to the first one, euphoria. It is nothing but it is a mild elevation of mood, or we can say a psychological well-being the patient will feel, termed as euphoria. Next one, elation. The elation, it is a moderate elevation of mood. Here we can see the patient's psychomotor activity start to increase. Next one, exaltation. In exaltation, that increased mood, it will be higher, means severe disturbance with the mood and the patient having delusion and hallucination. The psychotic symptoms we call start to develop. Next one, ecstasy. It is a very severe form of mood disturbances, and the patient will be having a restlessness or blissfulness in this particular area. Come to the next one, increased psychomotor activity. So here all the patient's activity will be increased, patient will be restless, Patient will be that much busy, he cannot take the rest, he may not be having time to take the food also, or he will stop taking drinking or taking food, everything, and always he will be busy, and he may not complete one task also. We can say like patient will be on the go. That means always he will be busy. Then what we can say that distractibility, patient cannot concentrate in any activity. So, these are the symptoms which is related to the increased psychomotor activity. Next one which is related to the speech and thought. So, here what happens, the patient speech will be increased production of speech, patient's voice and tone will be louder, and he will be having a pressure of speech, and he may be speaking to other people like in a jokeful manner, a joking manner he will be speaking. Then he will be using some punning languages, all these things which is related to the speech. Along with this one, there may be thought disturbances. In the thought disturbances, we can see that the patient may be developing with increased self-important ideas, that we call as a feeling of a grandiosity. Patient will feel that, okay, I am something superior. We'll say that delusion of grandiosity. Sometimes the patient will be having feeling a thinking that others are trying to harm me. That everything which comes to the thought disturbances. And the patient may be having a flight of ideas. Flight of ideas means patient will be speaking regarding one topic, easily he may be shifting to another topic. The flight of ideas, that is common with this manic patient. Then apart from this one, there are some other symptoms, because the patient is always busy. So, he will be having weight loss, he may not be having time to sleeping problem or insomnia he may be developing. So, dehydration, because he is not taking the water properly, dehydration may be there. Then distractibility will be there. Then patient's sexual energy will be increased. So, we call the increased libido, that means increased sexual energy. So, these are the clinical features of mania, we can say. Now, we will see the types of mania. There are 3 types of mania. One we call a hypomania. So, there it is a mild symptoms will be there, it may not be having problem with the social life. Next one, mania without psychotic features. So, here all the symptoms of mania patient will be having like increased psychomotor activity, increased speech, everything will be there, but there will be absence of psychotic features. But while coming to the next one, mania with psychotic features. So, here the symptoms of mania will be there along with the hallucination and delusion patient will be having, delusion of grandiosity, visual or auditory hallucination may be present. So, these are the types of mania. Now, we will move to the diagnostic evaluation. The main diagnostic evaluation will be the psychiatric history collection. Then we will go for the mental status examination. Then there are certain psychological assessment, especially we will go for a young mania scale to assess the manic symptoms of the patient. These are the diagnostic evaluation. Now, we will see the treatment option or the management. So, while coming to the management, the psychopharmacology, the lithium carbonate, that is termed as an anti-manic drug or mood stabilizer, that is the common drug what we give to the patient. So, here 900 to 1200 mg per day, that will be the dosage for this lithium carbonate. So, apart from this one, carbamazepine, sodium valproate. If the patient is having psychotic features like hallucination or delusion, we can move to the antipsychotic drugs. Or if the patient is having restlessness, violent behavior, we can expect with the manic patient. So, in that case, you can go for benzodiazepam or anxiolytic drug to calm down the patient. Then these are the management psychopharmacology for the manic patient. Then we will come to the nursing management. So, while coming to the nursing management, so manic patient will be having increased psychomotor activity. That means the patient may be having a risk for injury. The nursing diagnosis, we can say that there will be a risk for injury which is related to the hyperactivity. Then another one, risk for self-directed or other directed behavior. So, here the patient may become so much violent. So, he can attack other people also. Then social isolation, that is another nursing diagnosis we can formulate. So, all these things, considering all these things, the nurses, we have to clearly observe the patient, because the patient may be violent, try to give a separate room for the patient, and if there is any sharp instruments, all these things we have to remove from the patient's side, because patient can attack to other people. So, all these things are the important nursing management we can say for the we can say for the manic patient. And another important thing, the patient is under lithium medication. So, daily lab investigation is very, very important, because the lithium may be having some severe complication. The patient can go for coma and death. To observe this one, you have to go for the lab investigation. Okay. So, today we have seen regarding the mania. So, what is mania, clinical features, types of mania and the management. So, that is all for today's class. This is Vishant signing off till we meet the next class.